about the honor of another Pro Bowl this early in your career, and you've talked about wanting to kind of establish you and go from there, just what it means to do this.
It's a true blessing for me. I give all the glory to God because I wouldn't be here without him. I wouldn't be who I am. And so just glory to him. And then, I'm thankful for my teammates, helping me build every day. I wouldn't be who I am if, I wasn't going against the defense. Those guys, Osa, Micah, all those guys. So huge thank you to them. But, yeah, this is I think it's a great stepping stone. I remember last year when I went, Zach told me, this is just one of those stair steps you got to climb in your ascension, right? Always elevate, always be a player that's ascending. So definitely a great honor, and I'm extremely thankful for sure.
What have you learned most from Zach throughout your time here with him?
I think just him as a man and him as a player. Just being consistent in everything you do. Regardless of how things going, I think, this year was a huge part of that. We had ebbs and flows, we had ups and downs, but, just being consistent in my process, being consistent in the work that I put in and, trusting in everything that I learn. It's one thing to learn something, but it's a different thing to have faith in it. So definitely just having faith, that everything I do, to improve myself, improve the team, things of that nature are, working, are in good faith. So, yeah.
Obviously, this regime drafted you. Has your mind gone to the place that this could be your last time playing with this coaching staff?
My mind's really been on beating the Commanders. Obviously, I know a lot of things are looming, but, that's one of them things, I can't control myself, so I can't put much worry into it. So I think, the biggest thing for us and the biggest thing that Coach McCarthy has been speaking on is really beat the Commanders. And, I think B. Cook spoke on something. He spoke on having, respect for the game, staying locked into the assignment, staying locked into the mission this week, regardless of, what's going on, with us or, what's happening after the season or whatever. So, yeah.
With that consistency being probably the most important thing for an offensive lineman to have, getting the second Pro Bowl nod, is that almost sweeter than the first one just because it shows consistency?
It's really, it's sweet either way. I'm just thankful. But it definitely, it's an honor. It is an honor to, be recognized by, not only the fans, but, guys around the league and things of that nature. And so, yeah, for me, it's huge. Extremely thankful. I cheese on the inside, so, I keep all the excitement inside. But, yeah, I'm thankful, bro. And it's super sweet. Like I said, one step in the journey, always ascending, always getting better. So, yeah.
Tyler, do you try to use the Pro Bowl week obviously it's a fun thing, right? But
yeah.
Do you try and get there and pick the brains of people that you admired from afar?
Yeah, I definitely talked to a couple of people even last year. And I try to pick their brains as much as I can. They're with their families at the end of the day. It is a pretty chill thing. But definitely, talking to guys, about the game is huge. And just, being able to see all those vets there is big. So, yeah, I definitely do try to, do what I can in terms of, picking their brains and stuff.
Who are some of those guys last year that maybe you like?
Like Alec, not Alec, but Chris Lindstrom. I talked to Chris Lindstrom. Jason Kels was there. So, I talked to him. Panay was there, Tristan Wirfs was there, all those guys. And so, yeah, I definitely talked to him about a couple things, nothing too crazy. And then I trained with a lot of people in the off season too, who are pretty high level. So, I definitely picked their brains there too.
Where did you need to prove your game?
Holistically, there are things I improve on every day. It's O-line is really just a matter of, perfecting the fundamentals. So it's leverage, first, second step, all those things of that nature. Tight elbows, although it sounds, it's monotonous, it's stuff that, I'm working on every day. It's stuff that you have to work on every day. So things like that.
You said you've spoken since day one about just the impact that Zach and Tyron have had on your career so far. Obviously, we don't know Zach's future for sure at this moment. How do you think about the concept of at some point carrying that torch on as the leader of this offensive line?
In my mind, I think it starts with just maintaining that standard. When I got here, from the film room to walkthroughs, I've seen how Tyron and Zach practice. I've seen how they study. The notes they take and things of that nature. So, carrying that on. And I have thought about that. I have thought about how I can be the best leader I can be. How can I continue to improve the standard that they've set before me. And so, it is something that I take to heart every day. In terms of my preparation and the way I carry myself when I come in the building. So, yeah. But right now, beat the Commanders.
How many? There are a lot of good offensive linemen in the history of this franchise. How many Pro Bowls do you need to get before you start saying, okay, I have a chance to be in the conversation?
Man,
with
as
some of these
many
other
as
guys?
I can, huh? I mean, you just, I think the biggest thing is just continue to improve. I know I said a lot, and I sound like a broken record, but that really is what's going to kind of get you to that success you want to see, is continue to do the little things the right way, you know, continue, you know, focus on the things that made you successful in the first place, you know, and then, you know, not letting anything get ahead of you. Like, yeah, you know, accolades and stuff, you know, are great, and, you know, it's truly a blessing, but at the end of the day, you know, I want to be the greatest football player I can be. You know, I want to be the greatest offensive lineman I can be. And so if I focus on that, you know, I trust in God, everything will take care of itself.
You've always played next to Zach. You've played next to Tyron. You said you talked to Jason Kelsey. When you talk to guys that have had the sustained success, what is the constant that you find between them?
Consistency. Just being consistent in everything they do. Like the same set, you know, Tyron takes at practice, you know, he's going to take 1,000 times and walk through. Like the same one, at the same intensity, the same way. And so, like, really just being consistent with using those good fundamentals. And, like, you know, a big thing for me in my rookie year especially was just, you know, studying how they did things, like their process, like, you know, how Tyron, you know, whether he stretched or, like, you know, what he did to, you know, take care of his body, and what he did to, like, you know, maintain his leverage, like what stretches is he doing to stay low or whatever, things of that nature. And so, yeah, when I talk to them, you know, that's kind of things that they tell me about. And then just asking them questions, like, even, you know, if I'm like, yeah, like, what should I try to do my hands a certain type of way, or should I take this step a certain type of way, just looking at the small nuances and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Thank you, Tyler.
No problem at all.
Appreciate it.
Nate has